This your feeling source of boxing news, giving you exclusive interviews with less born interludes. It's Skywalker, fly talker, and a fire sparker, giving you the news straight, not a side talker. Daily boxing updates with live fight streams, gym visits, sneak peeks from behind the scenes. Plus we link with more boxing and they spitting toxin. Strong like a pack of oxen, ain't no other option. He got a new addition, Poppy from Yayo. Heavy on the Poppy, Legato on the Yayo. Ernest X, a retired military vet. He a comedian, so don't be disobedient. With 86 boxing from out of DC. That's the valedictorian historian. He's still pushing Tim and Tim when the week begins. The super chats and cash apps collect the dividends. The live interesting, yo, I hope you listening. It's not a trick, Tim Jr. running for politics. Skywalker washing windows off a skyscraper. The mother channels stay sweet like annihilators. You get physically exposed if you violate us. You guys fool get chewed like Crocs and Gators. It's no reason to explain why you cowards hate us. Skywalker boxing media preceding it. Trust me, I understand why you cowards hate us. Leading you is Skywalker boxing media. Trust me, I understand why you cowards hate us. Leading you is Skywalker boxing media. Yeah. Skywalker boxing media. Saludos. Word 'em up. Yeah.
Salute. Welcome to Skywalker Boxing Media. Team Mo Boxing, no problem. We have a special guest with us today. I want to first introduce the panel. We got 86 Boxing underneath.
Hey, welcome.
We got Tim Witherspoon Jr., my co-host.
What's going on, guys?
And we got Poppy Chun Yayo.
Y'all already know what it is. Heavy on the Poppy, light on the Yayo. What's cracking?
Hey, our special guest today, we got Mighty Brook Sibrian in the house. Top
Hello.
10 mini flyweight. Much love to her. Been doing her thing, staying busy. You've been hella busy this year. And it's great. You cracked the rankings. You got a tough fight August 2nd. You're going up against a friend of mine named Catherine Lindenmuth out of Albuquerque. This fight's going down in San Jacinto, California, correct?
Yes, correct. So Casino.
And it's courtesy of House of Pain Promotions. You guys can catch the fight stream on BXNG TV this Saturday. This is fight week. How you feeling, Brooke?
So good. Weight's on point. Finally, now just sweating it out, letting the body rest. So it's always my favorite time. Time to lock in and then have fun come Saturday night.
Nice. Yeah, it's gonna be a great fight. It's gonna be a good fight too, because I mean both girls are really good fighters. It's like a straight up 50-50 fight. So shout out to the matchmakers. This is gonna be a war. You guys don't want to miss this fight. Shout out to your team, man. Your husband, I always see him in your corner. And he puts in a lot of hard work with you alongside So just want to shout out your husband, Mega Soto. That's my bro. And Juan, your whole team's awesome. And how has this training camp been for you?
It's been really good. As you mentioned, we've been super active the last 18 months. Been 9 fights. So this will be my 10th fight, which is crazy. It still feels kind of surreal, but I mean, it's just kind of our life, we do it every day. We love it. And it's the family business, literally. Time goes by so quickly when you're having fun. And before you know it, now we're getting ranked and things are really changing, moving along. And I mean, I feel good. I feel great.
Nice.
Yeah, so you said it's like the family business and everything. Can you give us a little backstory on how everything started?
Yeah, so I picked up the gloves when I was 27 in fitness boxing classes and loved it so much.
Can we just stop for a second? You said when you were 27. I didn't know that you were.
I know I'm an oldie. Oh no, I'm just kidding.
No, because you look like you are the typical person who has early in their boxing career, a 20-year-old, or
Thank you.
20. I'm sorry to cut you off. I just wanted to make that point. We didn't know. Well, I didn't know that you were.
No. So, like my mom would say, I'm a vieja in Spanish. But
Yeah.
no, so I've been an athlete all my life. Soccer was my first love, really quickly. Went to college, graduated, didn't do any soccer in college. So once I started doing my corporate job, I was like, wow, I need something else to do. This 9 to 5 is not cutting it for me. So I started exploring, doing, taking different classes. I was in New York at this time. And sorry about that. And I found Rumble Boxing, which is a fitness boxing classes. And I loved it so much. I picked it up super quickly. My mind was blown when I was like, wow, these 6 punches are insane. Like just learning them and being able to throw them and know what they were was pretty, like it just captivated me from the beginning. I kept at it, and like most things, once I find something that I love, I just lock in. And fast forward maybe like 6 months later, I moved back home, which is California, Southern California, and Santa Clarita. And I was like, well, let me find a real gym with fighters, and that's where I found 818 Boxing in San Fernando, and that's where I met Mega, who was really my first coach there. He was an active fighter, or at least like taking a break from fighting. So he himself was a pro, and so we connected. We got into the coaching. COVID hit. I didn't compete 2020, so I was grinding in my backyard, just hitting the bag, still staying active. I was dead set that I was gonna get my amateur fight in just to see what it was like, because I was so committed to the lifestyle and I just loved it already that I was like, let's give it a try. I'm still within the window too, age-wise. So fast forward to May of 2021, I debuted as an amateur in Managua, Nicaragua, because of our connection with Chocolatito Gonzalez. Just like, I know I'm speeding through it, but that's kind of how that happened. Once I had that 2 fights in one night, which is crazy because there's no like rules over there when it comes to sanctioning, amateur fights or even other fights. I loved it so much, and I was hooked. So we just hit the gas, and we're like, I work remotely full time, so I have the flexibility to really commit to this lifestyle. And I was like, you know what, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna give it my all and go all in. So he was ecstatic because he was like, okay, that's great. He kind of took a step back from his pro career and then moved into the coaching space. And once I started fighting, we did like 25 amateur fights in 2 years too. So crazy. Women, it's a little bit harder too. So I was lighter in weight but older in age, so it was harder to find matches, right? So we drove everywhere. We fought internationally. I competed in the Central American Games and represented El Salvador 2023. So we did it all. Like, we were like, I don't even know how I got the chance, but the opportunity came up to qualify and represent El Salvador, and that was pretty badass. So we were like, let's do it. I actually lost the decision to Crystal Rosada, who is now signed to Amanda Serrano, which is crazy, small world. And then after that, we're like, you know what? Let's go pro, because at this point, 2-time national champion here in the U.S. I did the international scene, and I was about the following year in March, I was going to turn 30. So we're like, if we're going to do it, let's pull the trigger now. So we did, and then we debuted in October of 2023. And then it's been, hit the gas ever since. So.
Wow, that's a heck of a journey you've been on there. So let me ask you this. Well, I want to ask you a 2-pronged question, kind of. So number one, do you study like boxing film and like some of the greats? Do you watch a lot of old tapes from different fighters? And the second part of the question would be, who would you say your style was like, or do you just have your own thing going?
Yes. So we watch boxing all day. every day. From even not just the boxers themselves, like the greats. One of the ones I've been digging a lot into recently, for I don't know why, but Hagler, Joe Frazier, a lot. But also the coaches back then, right? So like
Yeah.
Teddy Atlas, and then we have Emmanuel Stewart, and then we obviously Cuss and all of them. And just to see like what were their styles, and how were they communicating to the fighters, things like that. Because one of the things that has helped at least our dynamic, and maybe has contributed to why we've been so consistent and just active, I guess, is our relationship, right? Like Mega and I, like fighter to coach. When we're in training, we're not husband and wife. We're not a couple. I am the fighter and he's my coach, and I don't cross that line, and neither does he. Kind of, like there's no babying, there's no affection, there's none of that going on. If anything, it's just that flip gets switched, and it's been really good. And I think it helped that we started that way, right? This is the other way around.
There's a lot. I mean, even my friend Onito, his wife Rachel, and she's in his corner, and they got that husband-wife business relationship, and then they're also a couple, and it works out really good for them.
Yeah, like some people are like totally against it, but I mean, obviously we have a different perspective on it, and it's been really good for us. But we do see a little bit more often now. But going back to your question, so yes, we do watch it a lot, and obviously all the fights now, obviously male and female, and whatever card, we got like 3 screens, even though they're not like, they're kind of like bushy screens. We got like an iPad over there, a phone over there, but we make it work. And sometimes, we might use a streaming site or two, but we make sure to watch it, because I mean, it's just, I'm such a nerd, like in general. And then obviously with this is my passion and my love, that it's just like, you have to hear it, you have to watch it, even like how other people comment on it, right? Like there's so many ways to just study on it. So we're big nerds for that.
Yeah. I got a question from the audience. Shout out to Big Justin James. He said, "Hi everyone. Brooke is a great fighter. Quick question: who is the hardest punching female you ever been in the ring with, sparring or a real fight?"
The most heavy-handed female that I've sparred with, and in general, like fight or sparred, right, her name is Nicole Chisholm. I don't think she's active anymore, but she actually was one of my stablemates in 818. And she fought at 118, which obviously, you can, given the weights and things like that. But I've been in there with, up, I think the heavy is like 130. But she super heavy handed, like everything was just like a wall. And I was like, okay, she's actually the one that broke my nose the second time I ever sparred. And it was not on purpose, obviously, but it was just, yeah. So till this day, she always is that person for me.
I want to take it back to when you said you first started. You said you first started at a gym called Rumble or something like that. What was so empowering to you that made you think that, wow, I found my journey and this is what I'm going to do? What about that specific time in your life made you go this way?
It's a good question. Well, for me, I mean, I didn't grow up in like around combat sports or even knew anything about striking, right? So just throwing the punches and seeing like, or being told or taught the combinations of punches and then landing it, even if it was on a bag, I mean, it was pretty mind-blowing. It's pretty crazy, because then you start to feel like, whoa, like what am I capable of, type of thing, right? And then you start doing it enough, and then you're landing a little better, just feeling stronger. I think something as simple as that is pretty addicting, right? Because it's within yourself. So at that time, I mean, maybe it was because I was ready to get that spark back into me of like competition too. It had been so much time off from it, right? that being said, team sports and like the single sport is completely different. And I'm grateful for the team sport experience, but I'm definitely digging this a lot more because it's all on me and, you know, good and the bad. But yeah.
Sure.
Awesome. Hey, I've done a Rumble class. It was pretty intense. Shout out to that Saint, like he's a coach in DC. But yeah, those Rumble classes, they're busy for sure.
I mean, when you're like coming off the couch, right, and you're like doing this, you're like, oh shit, you know, the minutes feels forever, and then the music. Their DJs were always super lit, so I always had a good time. And then obviously the women, it was always predominantly women, the ones I went to, not that.
Yeah. I was gonna mention that. For me, it seemed to be like 97% women in there.
Yeah. So I mean, you saw men in there, but for whatever reason, it was mainly women and someone that wasn't exposed to that world. You go into, and they're like, oh my gosh, this is pretty cool. And then, you know, everybody's like super uppity and like welcoming and everything. And you don't get that when you go to a boxing gym, right? Sometimes, a lot of times you go in and it's, you know, there's like a different feel, and it could be intimidating to someone who doesn't have experience or doesn't know what they're doing, right? So I think going to that for me at that time was good to kind of get my confidence and interest peaked. Yeah, I think.
Nice.
So,
because then that gave me the confidence to go into the real gym and then do what I got to do, and then I feel good, and then they are embracing me, and yeah. That being said, though, gyms now, I never get that kind of what's the word? Not the sexist, but like when you know the
gawkers.
No, like when they're like, oh, it's a female, like she doesn't belong here, like that
chauvinistic,
exactly.
bigoted type of.
You know, I've never experienced that since I've been in this.
I personally think that the boxing gym is a place where it's all effort based. You know, it doesn't matter who you are as long as you're, you know, trying your hardest. You could be horrible, but if, you know, boxers see that you're trying your hardest, that's all that matters.
Yeah,
it might have been a little bit different with MMA though. I know, you know, with how Ronda Rousey was the one who broke the barrier in the UFC. I can see it being a little bit different over there. But you know, I'm really curious. Did you ever get into any scraps or fights when you were younger, or like you know what I'm saying? Because you went through a whole phase here, and now you're in the hurt business.
And top 10 rank, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, did you scrap when you were smaller? I mean when you were younger.
I know, I stayed the same size. No, it's crazy. Like I wasn't bullied. I didn't bully. I wasn't in any trouble. I wasn't, you know, a troublemaker. I don't know. This is where my mom was like, where did it come from? Right. And we're like, maybe the daddy trauma that you had and it's built up inside. And then now that you're older, you know, you have an outlet. I don't know. Could be that. But sometimes, you know, I feel like, man, God just sends you down a path. And when you lean into it and you like it for whatever, I don't question it. I'm just like full forward, and I'm going to, you know, give it my best. So,
okay. You know, because I was going to string that together with, is there somebody in college that you might need to get at for some old reason? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You trying to sharpen up?
No, and it's wild because the older I've gotten, the more chill and like more hippie I've gotten. But when I train and when I'm in the gym and when I'm in the ring, I just tap into that other side, which I believe every single one of us has.
For sure.
So.
Yo,
you know, one of the cards that I remember you being on was amazing, man. It was sold out in Nicaragua for Chocolatito. You're on the undercard for Chocolatito. Can you tell everybody about that experience being on a mega? That was like how many people were there? It was crazy. It was like sold out.
10, 12, maybe? I don't know.
Oh,
no,
okay.
maybe it's not that much. Maybe it was like 8.
Well, it looked like it was a lot of people on TV. It just looked crazy.
I mean, it was a big deal because he hadn't fought there in like 20 years.
Mhm.
And it was his return, and it was like a full on, you know, like event that they were promoting, and it was kind of alluding to, you know, retirement or whatever. So it was really, really surreal, movie like, to be honest. I got added to the card like 3 weeks before it, so it was kind of like last minute in a way. So being able to get on there was insane.
Yeah.
I don't know, like it didn't hit me though at first because I'm like, nah, you know.
Yeah.
But whatever. When we got there and we had the full experience, like the media, they had like the week of, right, where you did the conference and the press conference, and then they had a public media workout at one of their biggest malls. So it was really cool because the
Yeah.
public came out, and it was, then you saw people like literally parading behind his bus everywhere, like every day. So when you see it, like those HBOs and, you know, all those clips where of anybody else, right, especially Alexis and Choco, like it was happening, and it was pretty cool. And then fight day I was the first or the second, I think, on the card. I think I might have been the second. And I mean, it was so cool. Like we got treated like royalty, and it was just so surreal. Just the way being able to warm up there, you know, you come out and it's humid, it's thick because it's tropical weather. But the venue though was really nice. And so that was a treat. And my parents went out, my uncle came out. So it was their first time too in Nicaragua, and we had been trying to get them to come. We're like, come on, it's so great, you have to come. No. But then I finally fight, and then the whole family comes. So it gave them an excuse to come out, and they saw him perform, right, live, and that was super cool. So after I fought, changed, and then got right out, like almost ringside, and saw him fight. So it was really cool.
That's dope. As though, hey, I was gonna ask.
I want to introduce everybody to Dom.
The girl in my fight. Oh, sorry.
What was that?
And I dropped the girl in my fight.
She's gonna be at your fight. I got.
That's good stuff.
Her mic's muted.
I want to introduce everybody to Dom. She's on the bottom. She's gonna be at your fight, Brooke, and she's gonna be doing media for No Boxing No Problem. So she's gonna be there live in person to get your post-fight interview after the fight. She's gonna be there, so I want to introduce you to her.
Nice to meet you. When are you getting there?
So I will be there Thursday morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably get there Friday.
Okay.
I seen it sold out at the casino, like the rooms.
Okay.
Watch out.
It's gonna be a great card, so I'm not.
Yeah, no, it is. That I wanted to ask you about, what do you think about the card as a whole?
I think it's amazing. It's crazy though, because not crazy, but I know so many fighters on that card, and so it's really cool for me, because sometimes you go and you're like, you don't know anybody, so it's just like a strict transaction. You go in, do your thing, bye-bye, and come out. But now when you're going in and you know these fighters, and it's pretty cool. It's it'll be nice to kind of mingle and then obviously do our thing together and put on a great show for everybody. So a lot of, local fighters and gyms and teams would be really cool to see. It's going to be there.
Nice. So, Brooke, you mentioned, all the, I guess, the legends that you've been involved with, and also some of the people that you studied before, like the older fighters and stuff. Who are some of your favorite fighters and trainers to study?
Well, I love obviously, besides Choco, we all know that. I'm a big Chavez Sr., Duran. I just had it in my brain. That's who I've been studying a lot more, because I want to get my inside game, better. But I love, obviously, besides Choco, we all know that. I'm a big Chavez Sr., Duran. That's who I've been studying a lot more, because I want to get my inside game, like, better. I want to get my inside game, like, but I've always really liked Joe Frazier too, Marvin Hagler. I really love more of his mental game and like the discipline aspect, because that's one thing for me. Like I really enjoy like the life of a boxer, like not the glamour, like that stuff I don't really care about, like the day in day out. Like I love it, so I kind of resonate with his story and kind of what he would put out there. But yeah, I mean, taking a little bit of game from everybody, like
You
really.
kind of giving me another question that I have. I hate to take up all the questions, but
No, that makes it easier for me.
well, you said you like the life of fighters and everything, and you happen to be a female fighter, and that path is actually still one of the harder paths of an athlete. I come from an era where, Christy Martin had to break through and, be the first female pay-per-view and all that. But now we have a time where you have Amanda Serrano and Katie Taylor, headlining shows and things like that. The female fighting has come so far, but how do you personally feel about the representation of female fighters in boxing?
So, I mean, I think I got super lucky, because when I got into this game, like things started popping off clearly, right? And it's just, I mean, give it up to, like Amanda Serrano and BP, that they've been huge advocates for women's boxing. And I mean, that Netflix card was so awesome. I was like sharing it with everybody, and I was like, that could be us. That will be, like I want to be there. And so it does. It gives that inspiration to, really push and, believe that there's bigger and there's more for us. And even just starting in the amateur ranks and committing myself to the amateur, I honestly think it's amazing, because I've seen so many young girls and, teenage girls and young adult females, and being able to train alongside them, learn from them, work with them has been really helpful for me. And also it's allowed me to, create those relationships. And now I'm in a position where, like I also am trying to share that knowledge and uplift them and, work together. And even our gym, there's so many little girls too that are coming up. So being able to have it on these big platforms is really important, because obviously you see it day to day, but when you see it on that scale and those platforms, it just makes it more inspirational, right? And I think it's necessary. So it's really great, and I'm really fortunate to be able to be doing this and to even be in a position to like get there. I truly believe it. So I think it's really awesome that we have so many amazing fighters from all over the world, and now they're being showcased. It's awesome. I mean, and everybody's a match. You see them on Matchroom, and obviously Top Rank with Perla, the latest female signee with them. I know they're kind of slow to push the females, and but it's really great, and she's going to be on the card. So it's really exciting times for sure.
3-minute rounds.
I mean, I'm down for it. I mean, we train 3-minute rounds anyways. Obviously, I don't know what the the whole science and all that stuff, but I mean, we're in the hurt business. I mean,
it's starting to take over. I'm from El Paso, and El Paso we got Stephanie Hahn. We got a girl La Baquina, Nayeli Rodriguez. So right now, all our stars in El Paso are pretty much females. They're taking over the males. So.
Yeah, it's pretty, it's amazing, honestly. And for me, it's like, I don't mind it. If anything, I think it benefits me and my style. So I'm for it. I mean, I don't know what the nuances are with like really having it completely change across the board and all that. But, that's my take on that.
Like, would you consider yourself a trash talker? Like, or you don't get into cooking or nothing like that?
I'm so not a trash talker. I mean, I know, and I know Mega gets on me. He's like, you gotta put, and I'm like, oh, I'm just like peace and everything. But then when the bell rings, I'm coming for your neck.
Okay.
I mean, just don't come after my mama or my, my family, and then we'll be good. But it's funny. I've never been one, and I don't think I've ever like gotten pushed to that point where it makes me want to like get out of, whatever. But no, I mean, I feel like you could do both. I mean, we're cool, but then once that belt, rings.
Hey, listen, because there are fighters out there that's like there's a whole psychological aspect that goes with it, and they might try to get under your skin. You might could get paint thrown on you or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I saw
You
that.
gotta be
No,
ready.
my silly self will probably laugh at it because
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a jokester. I laugh a lot, so
Okay.
it's difficult to it, but I know it's a fine line. Sometimes you got to give it out a little bit, but no.
Yeah.
Generally, I'm not.
Hey, I wanted to just ask real quick, kind of moving back to some stuff mentioned earlier, just fighting and all of that stuff, and you fight at lower weight. Boxing's one of those interesting sports where oftentimes people wouldn't know that a certain person is a fighter. If I saw you if just a general person saw you on the street, they probably wouldn't even know you were a fighter. Now, what is that like when you tell someone that, hey, you fight, you're an actual boxer? Because I'd imagine there's probably some shock on the face of a number of people.
Yeah, I get
Don't
that.
wear glasses. Do you wear glasses? Because then
No, I
makes
don't
it
wear
worse.
glasses.
all right.
But I do get that. I do get that a lot. They're super surprised when I tell them, but only if I'm like my shoulders and my triceps or my traps are covered. If they're not covered, and they'll be like, what do you do? And then I tell them like, oh yeah, I see it. But because I got some like massive traps for no reason. Like I don't do like any crazy weights and stuff. My body's crazy. So but yeah, I do when I like, dress up and I do my thing, everybody's like, what? But it's cool. It's a good, what is it? Icebreaker. So
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
certainly.
But listen, that makes you marketable in a lot of ways because in some cases some people are, I don't want to say they want to call women manly, but there are people that would consider some type of women to be manly and they don't want to promote them like they would someone else. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so I think that's definitely a plus on your side that you got going for yourself, that you still have that side that's available for the public, but you're still a warrior. So I think that'll definitely take you a long way. So I know I'm looking forward to seeing it. I want to see what I want to see the violence.
Yeah, no, and I think it's good just to touch on that point, which is one of the things I talk about is like the duality of a woman. Like we can be soft and then we can be savage, So I think that's one of the things that I like to lean into because I've always been a girly girl and, doing my hair and all that stuff. But when there's a time to work, I'm a dog, so it's that you still flipping that switch. And I really, truly believe you can embrace both, be both without like trying too hard, So I think a lot of young girls need to hear that because there can be that confusion and it can create a lot of, self-esteem issues and mental health. So that's one thing that I really try to advocate and showcase a lot. So even too, like there's also that fine line of like showing too much but not enough, right? So even the thing, like it's hard being a woman, but it's a beautiful thing. And I think we can show both, and just being yourself is always key.
One thing that I notice about women in general is that they're good lesson teachers, and you just happen to teach your lesson in the ring. I embrace what women are doing in that in the teaching realm. If you were going to throw a women's boxing event, what would that look like to you? I'm talking about, are you going to have male ring cars? Who's going to be the event besides yourself? Well, what are we doing for this female event?
Wow. So no on the male ring cards. ring.
I'm with you now.
Hey,
I don't know. Call me old school. I'm
No
not down
banana
with
hammocks.
that.
Spread the wealth.
hey,
No banana hammocks.
my wife actually asked that same question, Tim. She was like, "Why aren't there male ring guys there for the girls' fights?" That's what
There
she
should
asked.
be.
Because
I
it's
know.
your
I
show.
saw that recently. Well, I think the ring had like a male ring card dude in the New
Yeah.
York one.
Yeah.
And it was like, think okay, because I think it was celebrity, but still, it was like, and I saw it again. I'm like, I don't know how I felt about that. But equality and all that stuff, right? I don't know. I would probably say leaning towards the kids doing the cards, you know?
There we go. There we go.
Repping
I've
their
seen that.
gym or repping something, you know, like initiatives. And I'm more on that. I'm on the philanthropic and the youth side. So yes, definitely still like promoting a lot of women, but I love the co-ed. You know, there has to be males, and especially because myself in this career, I've been so uplifted by so many men that really believe in me and help me every day towards this goal, to my goals. So there's really great men out there that love women, uplifting women, and are, you know, they deserve shine too, because a lot of times men get bashed, you know, like, oh, whatever.
Yeah.
And so going back to the kids, I mean, yeah, I would have them both in there. So but as far as the fights, obviously, like, yeah, it would be pretty badass to have an all female card, or a majority, right?
Yeah,
Like,
what kind of women? What fighters? Female fighters would you like to work with? Let's say we put you in the promoter seat.
oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah. What kind of female on the in co-ed card? So you can't have a full card. You
You're
gotta
putting
pick
me
your
on the
favorite.
spot right now with no time to think of the
Live.
list.
You gotta have at least one.
No, I mean, of course there's several. I mean, honestly there's a lot like in the amateurs that I know that they're like going to be going pro. So I'm like, oh, I know they would be there, obviously.
Who's someone that we?
Go ahead.
Who's someone that you would like to work with that we would know?
As a pro.
Yeah, yeah.
They we have to work with.
We're
Well,
good friends with Michaela Meyer on this show. She's a good.
Well, I was really gonna say, like, who haven't you not worked with? That
Clarissa.
you know, like, I'm sure.
Would you
The
like
quote?
to work with Clarissa?
I'm trying to think of all of them that were there.
Holly Holmes is back out there.
I
Yeah.
saw that.
He's back out there.
You also have Serrano, Katie Taylor. Like,
Yeah, I mean, but those are like
Ann Wolf.
and well, oh my god,
The
the OG, Layla talking about coming back.
Yeah, the
you know,
OG.
Barbara Buttrick.
oh my gosh, Layla wanting to come back.
then you got Lucio. You just taking it back.
No.
What about some of like the prospects that are like girl prospects that are coming up with you? Like Guadalupe, Medina, Mizuki.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, every single female that is out there fighting right now needs to be given their shine and given that light. Like, exactly. Like, we have, I mean, everybody that's right now active with me.
I'm not letting you off the hook. Who's your favorite?
My favorite. Oh, in what sense? Like, as a fighter or as like person? I don't know.
Who do you want to work with the most?
Well, it was, but then she retired, Sinisa.
Sinisa.
Sinisa. Yeah. She was commenting recently, which I thought she did a good job.
That's a good one right there.
Yeah.
My uncle helped train her when she was a kid a little bit. My uncle Bobby Chacon used to go to her fights and all that.
I'm glad we got that one out.
That's dope. So yeah, super bad. Sinisa.
Hey, shout out to Mega Soto. He's like, who does Mighty want to fight?
Yeah, Who do you have a hit list like for future potential
Who's on
opponents
your hit list?
that are
Not
coming
to
up with
look
you?
past the current opponent. Not to
Yeah,
look.
not looking past
Yeah, not
her.
look past Catherine.
No,
But-
no. So see, I'm gonna give you an answer that you're not gonna like, but I want to
Mhm.
fight, and I mean this in the greatest, nicest way. Is everyone that my team wants to put in front of me. Like, that's what it is. Obviously, I'm going for the titles, long term, right? Or short term, whatever you want to say, however you want to say it. So everyone on the top list, that's who I'm gonna fight eventually. So 105, 108, and 112. It'd be a badass fight one day. It'd be cool. Fundora.
Hey.
Oh, you.
I was
How
gonna
tall are you?
mention that. Real talk.
We're both from the valley, and it's crazy. Like
Yeah.
we always talk about this. Megan and I were like, it's crazy how boxing works. But yeah, I'm 5 feet, so.
Oh, that's wild right there.
It'll be, hey, that will be a heck of a fight to see.
Talk
right
about
there.
a banger.
Yeah, she said she's trying to break the stick lady up. That's what I'm talking about.
You're gonna have to dodge that long jab.
She said she'll fold her up like a lawn chair. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not a disrespect. It's not like out of disrespect or saying anything, but it's just one of those things where 105. Obviously, you have right now. Well, Baye. You have the 108ers, and you have what is her name? I'm sorry, I'm having moments, but the Canadian Clavel. Then you have Borman, and I think from Germany, and you have like everybody that's on the 105, 108. You got it. I mean, if you're not gonna fight them, then what are you doing, right? So. And then 112 could be my max, right? You never know. Maybe Manny Pacquiao here. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, you can do it. You can do it.
But she's literally at the top. Like that's what you dream of.
Yeah.
So I mean, would it be one hell of a challenge? Hell yeah. But what are we doing this for? Like, so
and I believe her last opponent might have been about 5'1" or something of that nature. I think it was her last opponent. She had some success.
Yeah.
So you never
No,
know.
she's an amazing fighter. Like, really, she is one that honestly, I would love to work with her. Like what you're back to your question. I don't know why I kind of had a brain fart over there, but she is one for sure because I really respect obviously her family values, her boxing, and just everything, and it's pretty cool that we had the history where she was training out of the Coachella Valley. And so it would be such a hard one for Lee Espinoza, the director from our gym. But it would be so amazing. But yeah, anybody is really somewhat, I mean, all the fights are great. So if I have the opportunity to get in there and do what I love and be challenged, sign me up.
That's what's up. Love to hear it right there. I was going to ask real quick. You mentioned Kim Cavell, and I saw that your opponent, Catherine, fought Kim Cavell. That being said, as far as Catherine, do you know anything about her? Is this kind of going to be a first introduction, or are you familiar with her from some of her past fights or maybe the amateur scene?
No, we never crossed paths.
Okay.
Yeah, like no sparring. We never sparred, or we never. Honestly, I don't think I haven't met her in person before. Just my due diligence as a fighter, right? As a competition. But yeah, I mean, I hear great things, and I'm excited. I expect and I hope that she comes with everything and she's prepared, because that just makes for a better fight and a great show for the fans who truly deserve that. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Have you been? Because I heard you earlier say that you don't really do any weight training. Have you been doing anything fitness-wise, strength-wise, training, preparing for this fight?
Oh yeah, like I mean like heavy weights. Like I'll do a lot of kettlebells. I do a lot of resistant bands. And more explosive work with lighter weights. But the heavy, like big weight. Nah, I don't do that.
And this fight coming up, you've been pretty much standard. Is pretty much the same system you've been using the whole time.
Well, every camp, every camp, we don't really like the word camp because this is our life, right? Like every time between fights, whatever, there's always tweaks being made. There's always somewhere where we're upping up and, increasing this or changing this. And it's important because you can't do the same thing and expect different results. So, now they're like in anything in life, right? You got to experiment and see what works best for you because every body is different. But we know what areas to work on, and I'm a nerd and I kind of tweak on things. So we're like we add rounds. I love just to drill and drill and drill. So there's always tweaks being made and things that are up and up. And the stronger and the more active I get, the more we have to keep increasing and changing things up because then your body just, gets used to it and it's not challenging enough anymore. So it's like such a trip really. Cause it's like, it never ends, but it's cool. And I think when you're like obsessed, with it, it's what keeps you going.
Hey Tim, I want to say something to you, man. You know what I'm hearing, man? What I'm actually hearing is some of the same things that I experienced in the fitness bodybuilding competition world, fitness models, bodybuilding competitions, right? A lot of the women were a lot more disciplined in certain aspects than the men were. And when you get a woman that has that discipline and the focus, I mean, you talk about some technician type stuff right there.
It's not even just the discipline and the focus. It's the actual ability to push through more pain.
Yeah.
They actually have the ability. I see it with my own eyes in the gym that I own. They actually have the ability to push themselves farther than men do. Yeah. Same as you always talk about them being able to give birth to children. It's true in every single one of them. They have a different threshold for pain.
And I never heard one of them talking back in the corner either.
Well,
not one.
About that one.
I haven't.
In the air. What were we gonna say, Brooke?
Do you think from a male's perspective, it has to do more with the ego part? I feel like women may have less of an ego than men, generally speaking. I'm not generally. And because from my experience, like sometimes even just like admitting something, right? Yeah. That can be harder for men versus women and maybe can translate into that, like the training aspect or whatever.
I think that it's a combination of genetics. I see women are able to do the lower body workouts a lot easier than men, and vice versa. Men are able to do upper body a little bit more, but then you have women that do upper body. I really see these women that I'm training in the gyms lock in. They have a different kind of focus, a different kind of, I want to get this job done no matter what. Just like you see a woman at home doing the dishes, doing everything that they have to do to make their life successful at home. I see it in them on the heavy bag. It's like, yo, you put me on this heavy bag, I'm doing what I got to do to accomplish this job. And men, there are your certain men that lock in, but I just see a majority of women. It doesn't matter what level they are, they get on that bag and they're not there anymore. They're somewhere else. They're locked in, getting it done.
Yeah, they beating us up in their head. You feel me?
I don't know. I don't
always playing them video games.
No, but they go somewhere and that intensity comes out, and you don't see them. You don't see the pain. You don't see the breaks that men are taking in these classes. My own wife, she's putting kids to shame, and when they're side by side, I tell them, I'm like, yo, don't let my wife beat you in this, yo. You know what I mean? But they just don't have that same push.
But maybe it's a thing where like when we're little, right, younger, and that whole programming, like, oh, like for young girls, like be kind of like that. Oh, don't, they can't do it, or maybe just be softer on them, or oh, it's okay if you don't do this or that, and maybe it's that kind of like wiring younger, that when we get older we're like, no, we can do it, like don't dismiss us, like we are strong, like that need to prove that we are stronger than you think or make us to be.
There's plenty of women that I know that want to mow the lawn.
Yeah.
They want to have a drill for their birthday present, you know. That is definitely part of it. I agree with you, bro.
Yeah, I think it's probably twofold, that, and then the other thing too is maybe like urgency, for example, like at home, right? And sorry babe, I'm putting you on the spot, but like when I'm like, oh, can you put this thing up, right, like the whiteboard, and then for whatever reason there's no urgency for him to do it because it's not what he cares enough to do. So I'm like, well, I'm not gonna wait for you, I'll do it myself type of mentality. And it's not like, oh, you can't do it, but it's more like, I want it when I want it and how I want it. So maybe I'll just do it myself. And then maybe that is what can happen sometimes. And
you're hitting a lot of pieces of the pie.
Man.
Right?
Bro, hey, that's how Ronda Rousey, old man, ended up in the headlock and with a black eye. You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, domestic violence goes both ways now, fellas. I know y'all less likely to admit it, but some of these girls will go upside your head.
No, not in this home. We don't. I don't mess around because Mega has that mean left hook. I'm not trying to get caught. No, but yeah. So it's pretty cool.
Hey Brooke, I want to ask you, you have any special shout out for any sponsors, family, friends, and any message to everybody about your fight coming up August 2nd?
Yes, to all of our Coachella Valley supporters, our gym, Lee Espinoza, Coachella Valley Boxing Club, which we're going to have a lot of people from there show up to this local fight, to San Fernando, 818 Boxing, our family in LA. Really just so much love to all of you and everywhere in between. Shout out to you guys for this awesome podcast and putting me on the air to, share my story, promote August 2nd, my 10th pro fight. It's going to be a banger for sure. Now we are a world ranked fighter, and we're going to show the world who Mighty Brook Sibrian is, and we're going to shake up the scene. That's for sure.
Nice. I got your opponent coming up next. That's why I'm closing this out right now. She's going to come on next, talk about her camp, and it's going to be a great fight, guys. You guys tune in. It's House of Pain Promotions. The live stream will be going down on BXNG TV. If you're in the California area, it's in San Jacinto, California, right? So, yeah, you guys go check it out. The card is stacked. It's got Chop on the card. You got my guy Raymond Redfeather. He's a native prospect that's killing the game, Apache killer. There's a bunch of good fighters on that card. The whole card is stacked. You guys don't want to miss it. Please follow Brooke on Instagram. I got her Instagram scrolling on the bottom. It's simple. It's just her name, at Brook Sibrian, but it's Brook Mighty Sibrian. And much love. Good luck out there August 2nd. I'm in the middle on this one. I know it's going to be a good scrap. I'm excited for that, and much love to you and the family and everybody.
Thank you. Much love. Take care.
Thank you, Brooke.
Thank you, Brooke.
We'll be back live in 2 minutes.